Oh God, that's the best way to get canceled. What's the actual?
Hi, so yeah, my name is Michael. I lived in Philippines for basically all my life, mostly here in Dumaguete actually. Growing up in the Philippines, I had my mom and my dad. For the first 11 or so years, my dad was coming in and out because he had work outside the country. He would come back inside the country and out and so forth. And my mother was always around with us, but at the same time, she had what's it called develop a really great talent when it comes to golf. So she was playing golf a lot.
Okay.
So I guess most of the time I was just raised by myself with my brother, really, and my helper. Of course, my parents were in the picture, that's for sure. We had some good times together. But that didn't stop me from going out of the house and making friends when I could. I don't really remember much of my friends growing up. I have bad memory when it comes to that. I don't even remember their name. I remember only one of them. The first few years, I lived in a small subdivision called Villaverde in Buñao, Dumaguete. It's a small little place, a little road, that's just basically a big letter P. One way in, one way out, like a prison.
But it's beautiful. I've seen that subdivision.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
it was really nice.
Yeah.
Before it got heavily developed, now it's still quite nice, more on the richer side now. But back then it was like less developed, and it was just
Yeah.
perfect for an adventure, safe for bike rides and playing tags and scraping your knee and chin.
Of course, that was our generation too. We didn't have mobile phones. And,
No, I wouldn't even touch a book. I just kept playing outside, and when it would rain, run in the puddles.
It's the best, right? We
Yeah.
used to make those paper boats too. And
Yep, especially if what's it called, the water is running through the
Oh,
gutter.
yeah.
Whose boat is gonna win?
that
If
was
you didn't have paper, just use a leaf.
yeah, whatever you can, right?
Yeah, and it was just a huge group of us. Like, kids, back then, kids were really social. It would not be uncommon for you to socialize with suddenly a huge group of kids and you don't even know their names or where they
Yeah.
live. But yeah, that was basically me. I got along with one of the kids around there. His name was Craig. Funny enough, he's living in the same subdivision as me now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys still say hi to each other?
Every now and then, I mean, I chatted him. But initially, I was jogging around the subdivision I live right now. He found me, chased after me, told me, "Oh, do you still remember me?" Oh shit! And anyways, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had this one friend, Craig, and I would go to his house a lot. His father was a police officer, so he would not be around during the day. Pure Filipino, but raised in a very American household. If I had to say, yeah.
Okay.
Quite Americanized, to be honest.
Being a kid, out of all the group of kids there in the picture, why was it that you were closer to Craig, or why do you think your friendship worked out?
I am fairly certain because he's the first one to invite me to his house. So it was like a place where I could find him more consistently instead of the
Okay.
others. Because the other kids, they were just chance encounters. But this one, like, I feel like I want to hang out with Craig. So I would
Yeah.
just come in there uninvited, unannounced. It's like, hey, ayo! Just
Okay.
scream and, oh, Craig.
But how was your household like, Mike? Knowing that your dad, your parents were in the picture, your dad is Dane, of course, so there must be a cross culture inside your household, or was it like a very Filipino household?
Oh no, it was a very Filipino household. Again, my mom and my dad was not very around most of the time. He would come in 3 months, leave 3 months, come in 3 months. So most of the time, he never really had a huge impact of what's the decision making in the house.
Okay.
It's just, or what's the layout. He would just come there, relax, enjoy the food, go out every now and then, just enjoy his time in the Philippines before going back to the work.
I understand that your dad was coming in and out of the country, right? If you don't mind me asking, what did your dad used to do for a living?
He was the chief engineer of Line.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a cruise ship.
No, not cruise ship. Shipping containers.
Shipping containers, Line?
Line, yeah.
Wow, and he was the chief engineer.
Yeah, so they're in those kinds of boats, the one with lots of boxes or shipping containers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There is
Cargos.
cargo shipping like that. Oh, that's the word, cargo shipping.
Amazing.
Yeah, and in those kinds of boats, there is the top level and the lower level. The highest level on the top is the captain. The highest level in the lower
Yeah,
is the chief engineer, and
Yeah.
that was my dad. So I was like, ooh,
That's incredible.
yeah.
Did he ever teach you how to speak Danish?
I really wish he did. He never spoke a word of Danish to me, so it was quite a bit of a regret for mine that I never got to pick up on the language. To begin with, I was not really interested at that age. I was more of just interested in playing with my toys or hanging out with friends. Yeah. So I didn't really get a thought of it like, oh, I want to learn a language. So.
I think it's also when our dads come here, they don't really see the importance, I guess, because of course we were born here.
Yep.
We grew up as Filipinos, right?
Yep.
So I think the most important thing is to learn the local language.
Yep.
The national language and English, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it also even applies to how the Philippines has multiple dialects. Laika's mother, my partner, well, Laika's mother is not my partner. Laika is my partner.
Laika's mother, my partner. You have some explaining to do, mister.
My partner, her mother speaks Ilocano very fluently, and oh my god, when people speak Ilocano, it's like, what?
Yeah, it's a completely different language.
It's like gibberish.
And they're from Pampanga too, so I'm sure you've heard Pampangueño.
Yeah.
Just...
But my partner, she doesn't know how to speak Pampangueño or Ilocano, so and she's a bit annoyed with her mother with that because like, why did you teach us? That sounds like that's such an awesome language, and I wish I knew how to speak that. Yeah. And you knew that from the beginning.
But in all honesty, now that we're at this age, like we know how important being bilingual is, especially with those like major languages, right? It's just incredible when you can speak Chinese, when you can speak
Spanish.
Yeah, German, French, Spanish, all those languages that gives you a bigger opportunity to find work. And it just
has a huge talent.
Yeah, it's quite a shame because when you're young also, it's quicker to pick up on the language.
Yep. So, yeah, that's why I wish my dad spoke to me in Danish, but well, he never really did. So, that's a loss, but doesn't mean it's too late for me to learn. I just don't want to at this time.
There's always time to learn anyway.
Yeah.
So you grew up mostly with your mom, and I guess that explains why you grew up in a very Filipino household.
Yep.
Of course, you physically don't look pure Filipino, obviously from your towering height and your looks. But growing up as a kid, was there any factor with your playmates wherein they see you as a foreign kid, or was it just naturally like, you're one of us? Come on.
I don't remember getting into much problems making friends or playing around with them. The main issue when it comes to my what's called foreignness, if that's a word, was only ever in school. But when it comes to just playing around with kids, it was never really a problem. But
you never got the Americanong Hilaw thing?
Oh, I got that for sure. But kids are brutal. They don't hold back. They will do that. But it never bothered me.
Yeah.
I would just laugh at it make fun of them too with whatever they had, or what's this called. If they called me, what's it called, that one, Americano or Americanong Hilaw, I'd tell them, at least dili ko pisut.
Yeah, but as a kid,
I didn't,
fulfilling.
But I didn't take it. I fought back.
Yeah.
And, well, it got me into a few trouble, but at the same time, you give and you take.
Kids will always be kids.
Exactly.
Kids are naturally mean to each other, so...
In high school, I went to an international school, so there was not really much of a problem. There was so much half-bloods there, and people who spoke English or grew up in an American or European household. So being foreigner was just a very normal thing.
Yeah.
When I went to high school, I moved to a new place in Fatima Village by Bantayan. And my brother had a lot of friends there. He fit in perfectly because he was pure Filipino, my half-brother.
Okay.
And sometimes I would come along with him and hang out with his friends. And I knew 100% his friends thought less of me just because I was, not really part of the group and that I was also half.
But would you say thinking less of you is the right term? Because that sounds very demoralizing. In most cases, from what I know, of course, it's more of like, I guess, insecurities.
More or less.
They see you as this foreign-looking dude, and you have that that physical attribute, but so you look different to them, but you can adjust, and you're also Filipino, so it becomes slightly
of course,
of an
yeah, I did
insecurity.
adjust, I did get used to them, but at the same time, what I mean by view less of you is that they're not gonna hesitate to make you the butt of the joke.
Yes, of course, because again, you're different.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the beach. Same guys that my brother hung out with happened to live by the beach. So I'd hang out with them, and that's actually the story of how I got a sea urchin in my chest. We basically hijacked the boat like a bunch of Somali pirates that just came from fishing, and we just hijacked the freaking boat. 6 of us just rushed towards the boat, climbed up onto it, and all the old people, get off, get off! They gave up.
Eventually, they just gave you the boat.
They just gave us the boat because they parked in the water, they pulled out all the fish and all that. And in the beach there was a big coral rock. One of them just pulled it out of the water and put it in the boat. And I was like, whoa, that's a big rock. And there, you can clearly tell there's sea urchins shoved inside of the hole because that's where they want to hide. Then one of those kids decided to pick up the big rock from the sides where there wasn't sea urchins, and we're on a boat. There's waves. The boat is rocky. And it just so happened that it rocked towards me, and I got hit right here in the chest. I got like 5 or 6. Yeah, it was uncomfortable. Like,
Of course. And that stinging pain right after, right?
The most uncomfortable part came after.
Yeah, right after.
No, it was...
I hope nobody peed on your chest, though.
That's the most uncomfortable part.
Are you serious?
It was so warm.
At least tell me it was your brother who peed on.
No. It's the worst part. He wasn't there that day.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Anyways, yeah. That's amazing. So you got along pretty...
I get along with them pretty well, yeah. I was mostly staying indoors, but when I do go out, it's all fun games. The best way to make friends, if you have a kid you want to raise here in the Philippines and you want them to be social and there's going to be kids playing around, do not hesitate to just approach them and ask, what are you playing?
What's your biggest advice to foreigners, adult foreigners who plan to come here in the Philippines?
The best way to go about that is you can do one of 2 things. Join them for drinks. Invite them over for drinks, alcohol, beer. They love that. Tanduay, Red Horse, or you can just go up to them and ask, hey, you guys want some drinks in my place? And they're gonna flock all over there and just talk, and you guys are gonna have a good time. Second option is make one Filipino friend and ask him to join or ask him to take you along in a fiesta.
That's always the best.
That's the best.
To expats watching this right now who are, pre-planning on coming here to the Philippines but aren't so certain yet, we promise you guys, if you actually come here and try out Filipino fiesta,
every city has a fiesta on different months. Oh my god. And traffic is the worst during those days.
But we guarantee you guys, you just smell like different food just cooking by the street.
It's not even an exaggeration that you'll be able to choose between 12 to 15 different dishes and desserts all lined up over there for everybody to share and fight over.
Yeah, and if you drink alcohol, guys,
all the more fun.
Yeah, it's literally from morning to evening.
Even if they don't understand or speak English well, they will try their damn hardest.
Filipinos are very welcoming, I would say. And that's why I think most expats actually enjoy living here. Although some may have bad experiences. Again,
who doesn't in any country?
Yeah, the Philippines is not a perfect country. There are so many flaws. But then I have never been to a country that I can actually say that, wow, what a perfect country. Each country has its own flaws. But then I guess it's all about the mindset, guys. There's so much things to offer here in the Philippines. The cost of living is cheaper, of course. Everyone is just happy, having fun. It's less stressful here.
Eating.
Yeah, eating, drinking. So you just have to, cut out all those negative ideas of like, oh, that's something bad in this country and that's awful. Because if you just keep thinking about that, you'll never be happy that way wherever you may go, right? You have to be thankful. See the positive side of...
All you're going to do is complain. Why bother?
Yeah. And sadly, we see that in some expats here. But yeah, it's a shame. But thank you. Thank you for sharing, Mike, as always. It was really fun to have you here. And now we are both heading to the gym, actually. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here to Van and I's channel. How's the mango juice?
Skol.
Skol. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Please leave a like, comment down below as well, and share this to your friends. Any closing remarks, violent reaction, suggestions?
Don't do drugs.
Yes, don't do drugs, kids. Stay in school. But yeah, guys, that'll be it. We'll see you next time. Peace.